Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's most apathetic music nerd. And my throat hurts today. But I don't care. So apathetic at this point that I don't even really care about album reviews. I don't care who this dude is.
Well, Apathy is a rapper from Connecticut.
Connecticut! Ow. Throat hurts. I'm from Connecticut. You can't even say where we live right.
Connecticut.
Cal Chuchesta is right. Apathy is a Connecticut rapper, and this is his third LP. It's titled Honkey Kong, and if that wasn't enough of a hint, he's white. Like me. This guy's career goes way back to the 90s, back to 1997, where his first feature was on the first Jedi Mind Tricks album. And digging through this dude's past was a little bit of a nostalgia trip for me, just kind of reminding me of a lot of hip-hop that I used to listen to in the early 2000s. 7L and Esoteric, Lewis Logic, and this crew that Apathy runs with, the Demigods. And over the course of his career, Apathy's been kind of like a snowball, just rolling down this hill and picking up friends, connections, features, and all of them come together and help him make this album what it is. Longtime allies show up on this album like Self-Titled and Ill Bill and Vinny Paz, who actually have a new collaborative album out, and even more people come out of the woodwork for an 8-feature posse track toward the end of the album. This dude's momentum has gotten so huge that there's even a feature with Exhibit on this album. Another hot commodity from New York right now, Action Bronson, is even on a track, and DJ Premier produces a beat for this guy. As far as the beats go on this LP, it shoots for kind of a classic boom bap style, but with a more updated feel. It's definitely not as gritty as things used to be in the 90s, but this album still shoots for something really straightforward and raw. There's some great moments where guitars are sampled on this album. I love the horns and sinister strings that show up on the opening track, Honkey Kong. And I think my favorite sample on the entire album are the really low, evil, villainous vocals chopped and looped on the song The Villain. Of course, there's DJ scratches all over a lot of these tracks, and there are some moments like on The Recipe where this album gets kind of a little more electronic in the beats, but it doesn't get soft in the process, makes that transition pretty smoothly. Of course, there are tracks on here too where you're going to catch funk and soul samples. Overall, it's not really anything all that inventive, to be honest. The beats do the job, you know. Overall, what really makes this album for me are the lyrics. Apathy's flow on this thing doesn't really come off really intricate, technical, or flashy. He makes up for that by being really consistent and real and bringing a lot of charisma to the table. He's always very articulate and clear and vivid with the imagery that he's putting together, whether he's being aggressive, funny, or like emotional. There are a good chunk of like braggadocious tracks on here. Some of them sink and some of them float. The first track comes on really hard, just like a first track on an album like this should, and Apathy's laying down these hilarious lyrics about the kind of people that come out of the woodwork for music like this, and he's rapping about girls with stretch marks and love handles and no money who swear they're like Playboy bunnies. But tracks like Fear Itself or Albino Gorillas or even Never Say Never, the hooks get pretty bad and the beats are just okay and the lyrics just aren't great enough to save the song, you know? Where this album really shines are on the more conceptual tracks that are more lyrical or have a narrative. Thankfully, that's most of the tracks here. I love the track The Villain, where basically the whole theme is to just talk about villainous things, politicians, pedophiles, demons, pollution. And I love that Apathy can have a guest MC on that track and they link up with the concept of the song and actually carry it out. Collaboration. Check to Check is about being broke as hell, and I love the Outkast sample on that song. The Recipe with Exhibit is great, where most of the lyrics are acronyms. It's Only Hip Hop is a fantastic song about pretty much fans being a little crazy, a little obsessive, and pretty much Apathy coming out and saying, look, I'm just a person. You're making a pretty big deal out of this. And that's not something that, you know, over a great beat with some great lyrics, you usually hear a rapper say. I haven't heard it done to this extent since like that Eminem song, Stan. I dedicate this to you as a love song that pretty much goes off without any hitches. It gets a little corny, but it does the job. But the song that was nearest and dearest to my heart was Peace, Connecticut, a straight up rap song about Connecticut. And it's really something anyone and everyone from Connecticut should hear. From calling Willimantic, Connecticut Heroin Town, rapping about grinders, North Face jackets, good old Tom. It should make anybody who lives in this state feel a little bit of CT pride. There are some moments on this LP in the lyricism, in the beats, where this feels like, a typical rap album. It feels very typical of hip-hop. But thankfully, Apathy has great taste in beats, a really strong personality, and enough lyricism to make this album feel like more than that as a whole. You can call me CT biased. That's fine. But I don't think this dude would be attracting the kind of features and the attention that he is if this was just a Connecticut thing. I'm feeling a light to decent 7 on this. Liked it a lot. I wish it adventured more. I wish it experimented a little bit more. But Apathy is more of a guy who brings it straight from the gut. Doesn't take himself too seriously, and comes with a lot of energy. If you've heard this LP, let me know what you think. Love it, hate it, why? And what should I review next? Anthony Fantano, Apathy, Honkey Kong, forever.